Hello children. So today we will do revision for the second chapter is matter around us pure. This chapter is going to come for your essay 1. So let us start. Look at the flow chart. The first one is matter. So we all know what is matter. We have learned matter in the first chapter. Matter is anything which occupies space and has mass. There are two types of matter, pure substances and mixtures. Let us focus on pure substances. Pure substances are those which are made up of only one kind of particle. Or I can say that pure substances are those which are made up of atom or molecule. There are two types of pure substances, element and compound. So elements are those which are made up of only one kind of atom. And elements cannot be broken down into simpler substances. Example, gold. Gold is made up of only gold atoms. So gold is an element. Copper. Copper is made up of only copper atoms. So copper is an element. Under element we learnt about the properties of metals, non-metals and metalloids. Now compounds. So when two or more elements, when they chemically combine with each other in fixed proportion by mass, that is called as compound. Example, water. Water is made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. So when they chemically combine in the ratio 1:8, we get water. We have learned properties of compound. Okay. Then mixtures. Mixtures are those which are made up of two or more different kinds of particles. Or you can say mixtures are those which are made up of two or more pure substances. There are two types, homogeneous. By the name homo, homo means same. Okay, the mixtures that have same composition throughout. Okay, we cannot distinguish the components one from the other, and the components are completely mixed with each other in homogeneous. Example, salt solution, sugar solution. Then heterogeneous. Hetero means different. So the mixtures that have different composition throughout. The components do not mix with each other completely, and we can easily distinguish one component from the other. Example, chalk and water mixture, oil and water. These are example of heterogeneous. We even learnt about solution, colloids and suspension. Colloids and suspension are example of heterogeneous mixture, and solutions are example of homogeneous mixtures. Okay. Now let us start with the revision question. The first one, when a mixture of iron powder and sulfur powder is heated strongly to form iron sulfide, then heat energy is, first one, released, second one, first absorbed and then released, C1 absorbed, D1 neither absorbed nor released. So when we heat iron powder and sulfur powder, it forms a compound, iron sulfide. So formation of compound is a chemical change, because what happens? heat is taken in. The heat is first absorbed and then heat is given out. Heat and light both are given out. So the correct option is heat energy is first absorbed and then released. Option number B. Second question. Which of the following are homogeneous in nature? Just now we learned what are homogeneous, which have same composition throughout. So from this, the examples are ice, wood, soil and air. So which are homogeneous? We know the answer. Ice and air, they are homogeneous in nature. That is 1 and 4. So the correct option is option number C, 1 and 4. Ice and air. The next one, question number 3. Which one of the following does not show Tyndall effect? Okay, we already learned Tyndall effect under solution, colloids and suspension. Scattering of light by the particles. We know that colloids and suspension, okay, they will show Tyndall effect because the size of particle is quite large. So the particles can reflect the light which are falling on them, and because of that reason we can see beam of light inside colloid and suspension. But in case of solution, solutions will not show Tyndall effect because the size of solute particles, they are very small, so they cannot reflect the light rays falling on them. The options given are soap solution, ink, sugar solution, starch solution. Now we know soap, starch solution and ink, they are colloids, and we know colloids will show Tyndall effect. So what is remaining? Sugar solution. It is an example of solution, and solution will not show Tyndall effect. So the correct answer is C, sugar solution. The next question, fourth one. Which one of the following is not a chemical change? Now, what do you mean by chemical change? The change in which a new substance is formed. Okay, and chemical change is irreversible. It cannot be reversed. Now there are 4 options. The first one is formation of curd. So milk turns into curd. We cannot reverse it back. We cannot get milk back. So it is a chemical change. Ripening of banana. So raw banana turns into ripe banana. We cannot reverse it. We cannot get the raw banana back. So it is a chemical change. Rusting of iron nail. Again, rusting of iron nail, we cannot get the non-rusted iron nail back. So even rusting of iron nail is a chemical change. Sublimation of naphthalene. We know in sublimation what happens? When you heat a solid, it turns into vapor. Okay? And when that vapor is cooled, we get the solid back. So sublimation is not a chemical change. So the correct option is C, sublimation of naphthalene. Fifth one. Now this is a numerical. If 110 grams of copper sulfate is present in 550 gram of solution, calculate the concentration of solution. What do you mean by concentration? Concentration is the amount of solute present in a given quantity. Now 4 options are given. Let us see how to solve the sum. Now there is a formula for concentration. Mass of solute upon mass of solution multiplied by 100. Now over here we know the mass of solute. We know mass of solution. This is already given in the sum. So only substitute those values. Put those values in the formula and calculate. So we get the answer as 20%. So 20% means option number A. So the correct answer is option A, 20%. Question number 6. A student determined the solubility. Now what do you mean by solubility? Solubility is the amount of solute which can be dissolved in 100 grams of solvent at a particular temperature is called solubility. So a student determined the solubility of 4 substances: potassium nitrate, sodium chloride, potassium chloride and ammonium chloride in water at 5 different temperatures, that is 10 degrees Celsius, 20 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius, 60 degree and 80 degree Celsius. So in the table all the data is given. So based on this data you have to answer the following question. What would be observed if a saturated solution of potassium chloride at 80 degrees Celsius is left to cool to the room temperature? What is the meaning of saturated solution? It means no more solute can be added to that solution. So when you cool saturated solution, what will happen? Slowly the crystals or the solid of potassium chloride will again come back. Why? Because solubility decreases on cooling. Okay. The solid potassium chloride will gradually separate out from the solution because the solubility decreases on cooling. The next one, which salt has the highest solubility at 20 degrees Celsius? So when you look at the table, you can see that ammonium chloride has the highest solubility at 20 degrees Celsius. Okay. I hope children you have understood whatever we have revised. This is the first part of the chapter. The second part will be revised in the next video. Okay. Please read textbook thoroughly. Follow all the videos. Thank you, children.